especially going through the especially going through the gastric acid. My reasoning says that it is impossible for them to survive in gastric acid. This is my reasoning. So I got out of the shower to get ready to go to A&E and see if there's a way for them to check and to see if there's nothing, at least, I don't know, to go and talk to the mental team. And to be honest, the council people told me, in order for us to move you out of this place, you have to go and talk to the mental team. You have to go to the GP, and the GP or the mental team have to send us a letter and inform us that it's affecting you. So I told them, I was thinking if it's not true, at least I'll go and talk to the mental team because it's affecting me. But I had a surprise, because whilst I was getting ready, I was pulling my trousers. I didn't even have a shirt on or something. I just took my underwear on. I was about to pull my trousers. And I started to feel all of a sudden, what I forgot to mention, during the shower, I was feeling like a small point of pain, like here. I felt it through my bowels. And then all of a sudden it reached this area. But this area is like, the pain was more intense, and it was like it was more agitated, the movement was more agitated. And then I felt the pain like going here, it disappeared, the pain disappeared, I didn't feel anything, nothing anymore. And then all of a sudden I started to feel something here, and then going up my throat. And I was like, what is happening? And when it reached this, at the top of I think it's trachea, when it reached at the top, I felt like I had a sunflower seed, the peel of a sunflower seed in my throat. It was pointing inside in my throat in different directions, like in sides, not different. And I started to choke. I was like, come on, this is impossible to have a bed bug inside and to climb up all the way to your throat. But I was choking. I was still able to reason, and my body was reacting normally. I was gagging, and I was having difficulties breathing because I was coughing, trying to cough this. And I was having difficulties breathing, but at the same time I was still reasoning. And I was asking myself, what should I do? What can I do? And I started to cough. And I was coughing, struggling to breathe, coughing, struggling to breathe. And when I was coughing and spitting, I was spitting like saliva with small bits of blood, like mixed with saliva in them. I have pictures. I don't know if I filmed it, but I have pictures. And this was happening. It happened for a while, but after a while I was like, come man, what am I doing? Because if I keep on doing like this, it's gonna affect me on many different levels. It's like, what should I do? I was asking myself. In that moment, the only idea that I could think of was to call 999. I've called 999, and I was struggling to explain it to them, coughing, struggling to breathe, and trying to tell them the address, where to come. They were asking me questions. I was coughing and struggling to breathe, and they were asking me questions about, I don't even remember, because I was only focusing on trying to. But then it it I realized it popped my mind that she was actually the lady on the lady was actually trying to keep me talking in order for me not to choke and die. So, and through that choking, I kept telling her, I was trying to tell her, there's no need for you to try to keep me talking because you're making it more difficult for me. I am kind of able to keep it under control. It is slowly getting better, but the more you're asking me questions, the more difficult you're doing it for me. But she continued anyway. She was saying, "Oh, the ambulance is there." From the first time when she said the ambulance is there until the paramedics arrived, I don't know, it took like forever. To me, it felt forever. To choke and to cough and to gasp for air and to, it feels like forever. The the paramedics arrived. I was not. I was getting better already because I have managed to cough like most of what I was feeling inside anyway. So I told them just to give me a little bit more time in order to try to, and to check my throat. All I wanted was look into my throat to make sure that give me a bit of reassurance that there's nothing there, but genuine reassurance, not you don't even look inside and you say there's nothing there. Give me some genuine reassurance. Do a genuine checkup to reassure me. And then the mental, well, if it's a mental issue, I'm gonna sort it out. But the the issue, if there is a mental issue, it is because I am unsure if there's something wrong inside. But anyway, he looked into my throat. He didn't see nothing. I started as to convince myself, to talk to myself in my head. Okay, Andre, there's nothing. It's just in your head. Because you're starting to panic, maybe anxiety. The entire situation is getting to you. So relax, chill. Even though I was doing this and I was having this conversation with myself, I was still feeling it in my throat. It didn't disappear. It wasn't disappearing. It was moving. They took me to A&E. At A&E, a doctor came. He asked me what happened. I started to tell him what happened. I didn't get to finish to finish to say what happened. He was stopping me like every few seconds. Anyway, I didn't. And when I saw that, I said, "Okay, just try to keep it simple, Andre." Then a different doctor came. He came. He said, "Hello, my name is." I don't know if it's okay to say his name. But anyway, "Hello, my name is this." Let's say Nathan, but Nathan is definitely not his name. I'm telling you, it's not his name. Let's say, "Hello, I'm Nathan. Can you tell me what happened?" I've tried to explain the situation to him. I told him, "Listen, I was on my way. I was getting ready to come here to A&E by myself because I was capable to walk. But all of a sudden, I started to feel this. And he asked me, "What do you think it is?" I was like, "Man, I'm not a doctor, you're the doctor, but anyway, let me play your game." And I told him, "I don't know exactly what it is, but I've been having a bed bug situation in my room, and to me it feels like an insect." He was like, I told him, I am aware that this is physically impossible, anatomically impossible. I am aware of this. I'm not stupid. I told him, I'm not stupid. I have a minimum of general knowledge. So, to me, it seems surreal, but you know what? I'm going through it. I'm feeling it. He was like, what do you mean you have bed bugs in your room? And I said, yeah, I have bed bugs in my room. He said, show me. No, I told him, I have pictures, videos. And he said, show me. I showed him pictures, I showed him videos. And he was like, I don't believe you. What? I've just showed you videos which I have filmed today, yesterday, and 2 days ago. And you're telling me you don't believe me? It's like, I'm speechless. He said, yeah, I don't believe you. I think it is in your imagination. Said, Nathan, I know that partially it may be in my imagination. I've just told you, I'm not stupid. I've thought about this. But you asked me, and I told you, I've responded, I've answered. Now, I have no issue for me to go to the mental team and talk to the mental team. I really have no issue. But only after we do a physical checkup, only after we've run out all the other options, because I feel it inside. I don't feel it. Anyway, I told him, let's do a physical checkup. Let's tell me a solution of what we can do in order for us to disprove that, in order for us to prove that there's nothing there. And after that, I will go to the mental team. No worries. He said, I will tell you. Okay, tell me. And he was like, I will tell you. I'm like, okay, tell me the solution. I will tell you. Tell me what? I will tell you the solution. This is the solution. What do you mean? This is the solution. I will tell you that there is nothing in there, that it is in your imagination. I don't know, but in my mind it doesn't make sense. You're a doctor, okay, I understand. But how can you tell me there's nothing there if you don't look? Well, I know for sure that there is nothing there. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and there's nothing there. It is just in your imagination. I said, Nathan, what you're telling me now, you come into this room here. You sit on this chair exactly as you're sitting now. And you're telling me there is a wall behind me. There might be a wall behind me. And I'm telling you, there is no wall behind you. And you're asking me, is there any solution for us to prove that there is no wall behind me? And I will tell you. I'm telling you. Tell me what he was. This is the solution. What do you mean? This is the solution. I'm telling you there's no wall behind you. But this is not the same thing. It is the same thing, Nathan, because you didn't look behind. I didn't look behind. I just told you. So you're asking me To believe something that you're saying, to trust, not to believe. Difference. To trust something that you're saying without even checking, I can't trust you at all. Can you please call a different doctor because you were unreasonable? He said, yeah, sure, I can call you another doctor. He called another doctor. Guess what? It was a psych doctor. Psychiatry, a psychiatrist. I was like, okay, let's do this one as well. If normally the way I see it, I should have gotten up, went straight to file a complaint, and that's it. I shouldn't even have talked to the mental doctor, to the psychiatrist. But I said, you know what? I, all I'm interested in is to sort out this issue. It, if it's a physical issue, if it's something inside, if it's my hemorrhoids, if it's a mental issue, I don't really care as long as we find the issue and we sort it out. So if he sent me the mental doctor, the psychiatrist, then let's I know I'm not crazy. They want to say I'm not crazy as well. I'll show them. We started talking. We had a similar conversation, the beginning of the conversation, up to the point where she asked me to show her the pictures and videos. I've showed her the pictures and videos. She got up. She went to the first doctor, not to the second doctor. She went to the first doctor and she asked, why did you call me? The, the gentleman has reasons to be like this. You're supposed to do a physical checkup, to send him to hemorrhoids team or whatever you're supposed to send him. Do some, I don't know what she said there. I forgot. She said some names that I didn't remember, that I couldn't remember. I didn't remember. And after that, you send him to me. But you can't send him to me without a physical checkup. And she left. She told me that she will recommend me to, she will do a referral to the mental, to a community service in order for me to talk to someone, because the situation, she understood that the situation that I'm going through and that I've been going through, it's putting a lot of pressure on me. And so and she left. And she also said that she will talk to the doctors, to the doctor, and tell them to do some physical checkups. During this time, before the mental doctor, before the psychiatrist came, I've asked someone to bring me a sugary drink because my sugar was going low. As I said, I have diabetes type 1. So my sugar was going low. So I asked this guy to bring me some sugar, and I didn't know exactly how long they will want me to be there. So I asked him to bring like a drink and some like M&Ms. And I also, after all of this, I really wanted to have a cigarette because I couldn't believe these people work in NHS. I was like, who gave this guy the diploma? Did he really graduated the medical school? If he did the teachers graduated as well? Because if he graduated the medical school, I don't know what to say about his teachers. I would be ashamed to have had him as a student. So after she left, I told the doctor, listen, my friend is here, my blood sugar is going low. I need to go and drink some sugar, and if I'm there, I'll stay and have a cigarette with him and then come back. I went out. I opened the can of drink. I had a few sips. I got back to my senses properly. I lit a cigarette, and the doctor came outside. I was like, should I come back in? And he was like, yeah, but you're coming back in to take your stuff because you're going. I was like, you know what? In my head, I don't really wanna go through these conversations with you. I'll just go. I was feeling better already. So you know what? Even if tomorrow it might happen again. Now I feel alright. After what happened with this doctor, I really don't want to deal with these people anymore. Lack of professionalism, lack of humanity, empathy, whatever. I left. Next day I went to the GP. The GP prescribed me pills for worms and parasites. I said, okay, if it should work to kill the bed bugs. If there's bed bugs inside me, it should work. I've took the first pill. I went to sleep. I was like, you know what? I took that pill. No matter what happens, they will die. I woke up the next day. In the morning, it was fine. Then during the night, it started again. And with every day, with every night, not every day, it was getting worse. It started to get better in the past couple of days. When I don't feel the pain inside anymore, but I feel it differently anyway. So I took the next day I felt okay. Next night I felt worse than the previous night. Next morning I took the second pill for worms, and in the evening I took the third, but it was for nothing. It was for naught, because I still felt them. Then I've called 111. One time, I don't remember the exact order, but I've called 111 as well. They said a doctor will call you in 6 hours. I waited, I waited, I waited, I waited, I waited. And then I fell asleep. Right after I fell asleep, the doctor called. I've explained him the situation. I don't remember exactly what the doctor said, but I was like, but he said something that of course I was tired, grumpy, sleepy. After I just slept for like 5 minutes, they called me. And I said, you know what, leave it. It's like I'm having the same conversation with you as I have had with the previous doctors, and so just at least let me sleep now, because I'm tired. Then next day, I forgot to mention that I've washed 60 degrees all my clothes. I've took all my stuff, put them in a bin bag, black bin bag, tied it up, double the bin bag, to make sure that nothing goes in there, and if there's anything inside, nothing comes out in my stuff, because these bed bugs, they are called bed bugs, but they go everywhere, not just in beds and mattresses. They go in the flooring, in the walls, in between your stuff, as in even notebooks, stuff like this. wherever they find a space to creep in, they go there. To slide in, they go there. Anywhere they find a little bit of space that they can squeeze in, they do it. In the clothes, in between the clothes, everywhere. It was pests. So next day I took a shower. I jumped into clean clothes, new clothes, everything perfect. I wasn't feeling anything. I took my shoes on. I went for, I don't know exactly what I had to do. I came back like an hour, 2 hours later. I said, let me sit in the garden, have a cigarette and chat with a neighbor. We were chatting there, and all of a sudden I started to feel something in my shoes, like moving. Not a localized itchiness, but a moving itchiness. Once you feel a moving itchiness, you cannot misconfuse it with a body itchiness. When your body is itchy a little bit, you cannot confuse it. You have to feel it in order to know the difference. You have to experience it in order to know the difference. And my friend was talking to me. I was like, is this in my head, or is this really happening? My friend was talking to me. I was answering. I was once in a while answering. But I kept feeling that movement inside, and it was itchy. I kept asking myself, is it in my head, or is it for real? And all of a sudden I started to, whilst I wasted that time, I started to feel it climbing up my leg. In that moment, instantly I realized that's a bed bug. But when I started to search for it, I didn't take my trousers off to search in the trousers. I was in the garden, remember that. But yeah, so I didn't find it. But in that moment, that was it for me. I called someone. I waited for a little bit actually. I was like processing, thinking, searching for solutions. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? If they're in my shoes, then it's serious stuff. Then it hit me. I called someone. Can I borrow some clothes from you? Can I take a bath at your place? Borrow some clothes from you. And borrow some clothes for you, please. He was like, yeah, sure. I went I went there, went straight to the bathroom, jumped in the bathtub, took all my clothes off, new shoes, 3 weeks old. Everything in the bin bag. I jumped in the bathtub, washed hot water, top to toes, head to toes, everything, scrubbed. I got dressed with new clothes which haven't been there. Now, after a long conversation, after a few conversations, there was a decision for me to sleep there. I went to sleep. And after half an hour of just being in bed and trying to fall asleep, I started to feel them. But this time it was worse than before. The throat, when it reached the throat, I was able to, I wasn't coughing anymore. I was able just to, it would come up, I would just swallow. I kept trying to push it back, hopefully that the gastric acid will just dissolve it, whatever it is. So just pushing it, pushing it back in. But I was swallowing it, it was, the whatever it was coming back. I was swallowing it, it was coming back. Until like it got blocked somewhere, and no matter how much I was swallowing, it wasn't coming back. And I felt another one. And when it reached where this one was blocked, now I was feeling two coming up. And I swallowed. And I felt the third one. When I felt the third one, I just got up, I got dressed. I asked my friend to take me to the hospital, to A&E. I went to A&E. I was there for, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours waiting for them to give me a gel to in my throat. He said, I have a fungi infection. Okay, I have a fungi infection. I've used the gel. Why the, whatever it was, it didn't heal. So yeah, I took that gel. It got the throat got a bit better, but I've still been I have still been feeling, have had that sensation, that peel of sunflower seed is in my throat. It's not there all the time. Sometimes I swallow it. I feel it only when it comes back, when it comes up from my stomach and it stops there. But I've been feeling it like going, the bump just by itself, it goes like this, and I've actually felt the bump when it went to to my nape, to the neck, and I've been feeling like points of pain, moving pain